Hello, romantics. I'm back. In the first part, we experience Edgar's bruised heart, in which he experienced the pain of being rejected by his first love. In the continuation of this journey, they will fly over a fresh start and the value of regret. Will Bianca get a second chance? Today's episode, My Avenged Love Part 2 Final. Edgar is returning from his morning run. He was taking good care of his body, his mind, and his life in general. It had been 14 years since he moved away from his hometown. He was now 30 years old. In the beginning, he took advantage of everything he could. He ventured into many female bodies, beautiful ones at that, but with each one, he always made it clear that it was just an adventure. His focus wasn't on romance. It was to grow professionally. He studied hard, entered the technology industry, and started a company, thus consolidating a stable financial life. He was single and well off. Now he was venturing into aviation. He was already a professional pilot, but he was just doing it as Robbie. But there are some things that, even if you try to ignore them, still come back to haunt you. Although he seemed to have everything he wanted, something was missing. He remembered Bianca. Even though his mother always told him the news about her and his aunt, he found out that they were struggling in the cafeteria. He fought himself not to do anything against Bianca, but he still held a certain grudge against her. Or maybe it was just a desire to love her, but his male pride prevented him from confessing it. With 2 hours to go, he had arranged to visit his mother that weekend. But besides that, he had prepared something else for those days back in his hometown. Despite achieving a certain financial level, Edgar was humble. He remained a simple man. He arrived in the city late at night. He stopped in front of Bianca's aunt's diner. His company's financial team was already there. He went inside, looking at every detail he could remember. Not much had changed, but the smell of banana pie and fresh coffee was still the same. He heard an argument coming from the kitchen. It was her voice. "What are you talking about? This is my aunt's diner, and I'm running it instead of her," she said, seemingly flustered, and next to her was her cousin, who looked very anxious. "Tell me who this person is, who thinks they can change things here, who thinks they're better than everyone else?" Bianca asked. "I am that person," Edgar said, looking serious, standing there staring at Bianca. How he had waited for this feeling, to show her that he had grown into an incredible man, and that now he was better than her at everything. "It's me, the new owner of this diner, and from now on you will do everything I order. Is that clear?" Bianca and her cousin stare at each other in disbelief. Bianca's heart froze. She hadn't imagined meeting him like this. She was dirty with flour, nervous and without makeup. He, on the other hand, was handsome, smelling good, tall and well dressed. As well as the shame, she also carried the remorse of having hurt him one day. But she could feel the armor in his eyes, and she couldn't understand anything. "What do you mean he owned the diner?" "Edgar?" "Bianca?" he retorted debauchedly. "What do you mean, owner? What are you doing, Edgar?" Bianca's cousin asked. "Calm down, be quiet," pleaded Bianca. "My mother told me you were having financial difficulties. She asked for my help. I can save the restaurant, but I'll make all the decisions from now on. Since I'm putting up all the capital, I need to do so. Do you understand?" "Edgar, can we talk alone?" Bianca asked. "Get out," Edgar ordered his team. Her cousin also left. So what would you like to talk about? Make it quick. I have other commitments. Edgar, I'm grateful for your help, but please don't take your hatred of me out on my aunt and my cousins. Hatred? Edgar laughs ironically. I have more to do than hate you, he says, walking through the kitchen. I'm doing you a favor. Just say thank you and be nice. Which you've never been, have you? He lets go coldly. Look, I'm sorry about everything. I know I've been unfair to you. It's fine if you want to get even, but just make me pay for it. Okay? How angry, Edgar thought. How could it be that after so many years, her voice had affected him so much? That sweet look. She was wearing her cafeteria uniform all dirty with flour, but she was more beautiful and sensual than any woman he had ever taken to bed. The changes at the snack bar start tomorrow. That's all you need to know right now, he says, leaving the place with his back to her. Neither of them slept properly that night. Bianca knew that Edgar wasn't just doing this to help, but also to rub it in her face that he had become a powerful man. Would Edgar get his revenge? The cafeteria was undergoing major renovations. New appliances had been bought, technology was being installed, painting and new architecture. It was a different diner. Edgar demands her presence on the runway. Bianca couldn't imagine what awaited her. Then she arrived at the place Edgar had arranged. So, why did you call me here? She asked apprehensively. Get on the plane, he ordered. What? What do you mean? What do you mean? Are we traveling? It's a surprise. Surprise, but you know I'm terrified of heights. You owe me one, Bianca. This is the way to pay it off. What? Did you plan to throw me off the plane? So you're going to kill me? Edgar laughed. He was having fun with this situation. Be a good girl, remember? Get on the plane. Bianca sat petrified in the airplane seat. While Edgar was talking to the pilot, he approaches while apparently attaching a parachute. What are you doing? Are you going to jump? Me? No. Us. What? Have you gone mad? I'm not jumping. If you want to be forgiven, that's the price. But we're going to die. Edgar starts laughing. At that moment, the plane rocks and Bianca holds on to it. What happened? Edgar observes this strange movement. Not that one. The plane began to fall little by little. Bianca despairs. There's something wrong with the aircraft, says the pilot. What's wrong? My God, I said, we're going to die. Don't be pessimistic, my pretty. One day we will, but not today. Smoke is coming out of the aircraft. Nobody knows what's going on, but there are 3 parachutes. The pilot says they have to jump, but then the aircraft makes a sharp turn and one of the parachutes falls. Not that one. Everything was going against them. There were only 2 parachutes left. What now? The pilot quickly grabbed his and prepared to jump. The problem was that they hadn't arrived at the jump site. Apparently, the plane took a different course after this incident. Listen, Bianca, this isn't what I had planned, but I promise it's going to be okay. You'll just have to hold on to me, understand? Bianca was almost breathless with fear. The plane rocked back and forth, and it started to catch fire. There's no more time, we have to jump now. Bianca clung to him with all her might. But she could already feel her heart stopping. Would these 2 make it out alive? Edgar woke up, all wet on the sand. The sun was setting. He was a little dizzy. Bianca, he called out. He got up in a daze. He felt like he was on a beach, but he didn't see her around. Man, Bianca, he shouted, walking around looking for her, until he spotted a parachute. He was afraid he'd lost her. Then, taking off part of the parachute, he saw her injured leg, full of blood. Bianca was passed out. He picks her up and tries to revive her. "Please don't. Wake up, Bianca. Please don't die." He does mouth to mouth until she spits out a lot of water. Apparently she had cut her leg somewhere when she fell. But he was relieved to hear that she was alive. The two of them were trapped on that small island. Bianca's leg was injured. But Edgar was prepared to survive. He quickly got a fire going, and he picked some purple herbs that were good for healing. Bianca looked on in amazement. She had never imagined that after years she would be in this situation with him. If it hadn't been for him, she'd be dead. Although she wouldn't even be on that island if it hadn't been for his crazy parachute jump. She laughed without realizing it. Although she was nervous and scared, she was happy to be there with him. "What's so funny?" he asks. "Sorry, I didn't mean it. I'm scared. It's nerves." "Stay calm. We'll get out of this. We shouldn't be far away. They'll find us soon." "How do you know how to do all this? You look like you've been on one of those survival reality shows." "It was with my grandfather. He used to take me camping. He taught me how to survive. Now you're serving, aren't you?" The two looked at each other and laughed. Edgar had also managed to pick up some coconuts and bananas. That was enough to keep them from starving. It was already dawn, and the cold of the sea invaded their bodies. Bianca seemed tormented, but it was a fever. She moved back and forth. Edgar saw this and put his arms around her to give her some warmth. And so they fell asleep. When Bianca woke up, she could smell the aroma of roasting fish. Unbelievable. He even caught fish. "Good morning," he said. He served coconut water and some fish baked in banana straw. "Wow, it's like a 5-star hotel by the sea," Bianca thanked him. "It's the least I could do, after all. We're only here because of me." "I'm grateful all the same. I hope to be forgiven after this," Bianca retorted. Edgar was afraid he wouldn't be able to resist this woman. Her leg got better, but the days passed. It was evening, and the fire was burning. They were looking up at the sky. The moon illuminated the whole room. Edgar began to speak. "I'm sorry for the way I treated you that day in the cafeteria. At first I wanted to take over the snack bar and sell there so I could make you sad. But it's no use. Not even in other lives could I go ahead with a vendetta against you, Bianca. And I'm sorry if I pushed it years ago. I didn't want to be that kind of man." Bianca approaches him. "I'm sorry. In fact, I beg your pardon. I was unfair to you. I hurt your heart. And I hurt you physically. You're a good man. You always have been. Whoever marries you will be very lucky. After all, you know how to survive even on a desert island. Thank you for looking after me. I miss you very much." The two looked at each other, their gazes passionate. Edgar stopped fighting the anger he had felt for years and put his pride aside. Bianca was standing in front of him, wearing her white t-shirt with nothing on underneath. He needed to feel her touch, so he approaches and kisses Bianca. If he had once hated her, he no longer remembered it. Bianca touches his face and returned his kiss. Now their bodies were hotter than the fire. Edgar's hands ran all over her body, and he kissed every inch he could feel. At last he had Bianca in his arms. his alone and no one else's. He lay on top of her, the weight of his body fitting perfectly against hers. Bianca couldn't resist whispering his name with every touch she felt. "I love you, Edgar. I want to be yours," she said, panting. "I love you more. I've had sex with many, but with you, I'll make love for the first time," Edgar said, possessing Bianca. The two loved each other intensely. The stars were witnesses to a love that overcame time and anger. In place of resentment came the fire of passion. After 3 weeks on the island, based on fish, coconuts, bananas, and days and nights making love, an helicopter flies over the island. They have been found. They don't know whether to be happy or sad. It was so good, just the two of them. They forgot there was a world outside. They returned home. But Edgar would never stay away from her again. They quickly got married. Guess where? On the same island where they had been stranded for days. They threw a beautiful tropical party with their family and friends. After all, the scene of a tragedy had become the setting for a beautiful love story. Edgar and Bianca danced to their favorite songs. In each other's arms, they forgot everything. All they wanted was to love each other madly. "I love you," they whispered to each other. And that's the end of their story. After all, who doesn't love a tropical romance? They passed the test of time, pain, and coldness. But they understood that without forgiveness there is no way to survive. I hope you enjoyed it, and I'll see you in the next video. Kisses!